everyone, it's me Jenny, and this is another anime update, and as I'm going to be doing anime updates all day, I thought I'd do pigtails, plus they make me happy. And this week, belated pick, last week's SourceFedNerd pick was Say I Love You, and I've just finished watching it, and my quick review for it was not really my cup of tea, but I can see how a lot of people could really like this. It was kind of nice to have a change of pace after these very high action, very high drama, fantasy sort of things, to have this very rooted in modern day sort of reality, teenage life. It's a slice of life anime. It doesn't really have any fantastical elements to it. It even slightly parodies some of the fantastical elements of other animes. Particularly there's one moment where a character starts getting a nosebleed because he's talking about boobs, and it's not because he's talking about boobs, it's not because he's perverted, it's because he's been hit in the face with a basketball, and they make fun of that, and that's kind of an anime trope that they laugh at because this is a slightly more realistic slice of life sort of anime. This is, I think, the only anime that I've really finished that has romance as the most predominant theme. I stopped watching Chobits quite early on because the politics in that really creeped me out. The fan service in Chobits was disturbing, for me at least. Quiet on the Sea, I can't remember what the first part of that title was, just wasn't really my cup of tea. The fantasy elements were interesting, but the romance elements just didn't really do anything for me. And the only other anime that is probably close to this would be Blood Plus, but that was a lot more action horror than it was specifically romance, although there was definitely romance elements. I think this is the only one that I've watched that's straight romance, and I managed to get all the way through it. I discovered that even though romance as a subject isn't really my cup of tea, I think I got to about episode 5 and I was like, I can't really take this, it's 50% subject matter that I'm not particularly interested in. And I thought, Jenny, if you can extend your sense of disbelief for dragons and magic, you can extend your sense of disbelief for teenage romance. So as soon as I was like, okay, let's just, for the sake of this anime, accept the fact that these characters are genuinely in love, let's just go with that mental step, that internal logic, and then I really enjoyed it. But it was just getting over that hump that was a problem for me. The thing that I really enjoyed about this anime was all of the non-romance stuff, the bullying aspects. I think every aspect of bullying, physical, mental, social distancing, segregation, social pressures, is referenced and dealt with in a lot of very different ways, very complex ways and very proactive ways, which I really like. You have the popular kids who are traumatised, the less popular kids who are traumatised, those who are bullied because they're too fat, those who are bullied because they're too thin, too tall, too short. Like every single version of bullying is referenced in some formal manner in this. It even has a reference to internet bullying, which I found really interesting and very good to see being discussed and debated in a anime. And it's a very good complex look at teenage life, although, as I said, the romance aspects, not really my cup of tea. I think in terms of romance, my favourite episode would be the last episode. It's kind of an OVA episode because it felt like the actual arc of the story ended really nicely with the summer festival, but the OVA sort of, he's sick and she wants to go look after him, felt very much like a slightly more slapstick sort of romantic comedy thing. Everyone's pretty much already paired up, but what you get is the enjoyment from really getting to see them kind of be a bit silly and a bit hyperactive and crazy, and it's because one of the characters has got a fever and heightened emotions, and it's quite funny, and I was actually giggling quite a lot like that. The art style is very pretty, it's very feminine, it's very soft palettes in the background. All the characters are very attractive in their own special way, but I do like that they go into some darker aspects, particularly things like stretch marks after dieting, and there's a lot of issues that are really well discussed in this, just romance isn't my thing. And yeah, that's my review. Feel free to comment and tell me how stupid I am and how much I should have loved this anime. I would recommend it to people who are into teenage romances and able to get past that hump, the fact that it's animated. And I will see you guys all very soon, as I said, comments, all the things you normally do, and I'll see you in a couple of hours when I review my next anime. Bye guys.